Today we'll be going over the new and improved cheese for the Fire Giant in Elden Ring. Now this is working as of March 2023. Now if you are watching this at a future date, check the comments down below to see whether or not it has been patched. And don't forget to check the links down below if you're interested in some awesome Elden Ring inspired merch or 10% off your favorite Gamer Subs flavor. Let's get into it. Now before I go over the method we will be using, let's go over the gear. So you will be using a new trick to get yourself outside of the arena, just like the last two cheeses for the Fire Giant that I posted. So you're going to want a long range weapon like a bow or a long range spell. Now the pulley bow is probably the best if you're going super long range, which we will. So make sure if you're using a bow you upgrade it to the max that you possibly can. Now obviously the other option is to just use a staff for long range spells, which in my opinion is a lot more effective, especially if you spec into spells, of course. But if you're using the bow, then poison or rot arrows are definitely the go-to. Arrows do terrible damage to the boss, so you're going to want to rely on the tick damage from the poison or rot build-up to take this guy down. Now I'm using the magic scorpion charm to raise that magic attack because I'll be using these spells. Now I have this talisman which is actually useless since I'm not using perfume items, so I'm going to swap it for a damage negation talisman or something like that. He does shoot fire at you quite a lot, so that could definitely help. Now the next one is the Godfrey's icon to enhance charged spells, and then Radagon's icon to shorten spell casting time. Not even sure if that has an effect on the spells we're using, but in all honesty, the talismans are not needed, so don't stress about that. Now you can also bring along extra buffs like the dried liver to reduce damage taken, for example. Probably won't use it, but it is a good example. Now for the Wondrous Flask, Magic Shrouding Cracked tier for that magic boost, and the Cerulean tier for no FP consumption. Super helpful too, but again, not required. So if you are going to go and use spells, I recommend using one of Loretta's bow spells, the mastery one being the more powerful option, and then you could use Terra Magica to boost its damage. This one again isn't required either, but the more buffs the better. Alright, so you're here at the mountaintop. Now there are two chain bridges and you need to make sure that you are at the leftmost one. So over there you can see the higher one over there on the right. You don't want to be there, you want to be here where I am. Obviously there will be a yellow boss door for you, so enter that, and as you head on inside you're going to head up on the left. Now I need to trigger the boss fight since it's the first time I'm going in here, so I'm going to do that and then head right back. So you want to go up the left of the door around here. You'll see there is like a misty wall at the edge, but to the right of that there is an opening. Now we're going to hop off torrent and we're going to shimmy over to that little ledge you can see just off the side. Now just walk up to this gap as close as you can get and you're going to hop back on torrent. Now this is the only hard part. You're going to jump and try and squeeze between the invisible wall and the cliff, and once you've fallen through you want to time that second jump to just grab the ledge like that, and that is it. You are done with the hardest part of this cheese. Might take a couple tries, that is completely fine. Now you're going to head straight for the furthest part of this cliff and the Fire Giant will follow you there from his side of the cliff, but it will be very slowly. So if he does get stuck on any rocks or anything, just move around here and there so that he walks in different directions and he will unstuck himself. But essentially we're just going to sit on this rock all the way down the end and wait for him. And while I'm here I can quickly show you the area just behind us. There are all these rocks that you can use to hide behind when he starts shooting fireballs and stuff, and they can completely shield you from the fast moving ones, which is really important because depending on how much health you have they could one-shot you. Now the only attacks you would really have to watch out for are the slow homing balls of fire. Now they will go through the rocks, but you can run back so that you end up out of their range and they will automatically explode and leave fire everywhere, but you should be fine. And then the other attack you need to watch out for is that snow sweep. To avoid that one, you want to wait until you see the snow start coming towards you, then click dodge. Not when the sweep animation starts, when you see the snow start coming. Now his lunge attack that he does and everything else is literally useless. He cannot hit you from his side of the ravine. So now as he gets closer, you're just going to test the range of your desired weapon until you know you're in a good spot with some good distance and you can get a hit on him with your weapon. Now I'm going to speed this gameplay up. You'll just see me whittling him down with the spells really easily. Also chuck some gameplay on top of me using the rot arrows so you can see what that's like. Nowhere near as good as the spells, but it does kind of do a lot of the work for you with that build up, which is also good. Now just before we get to phase 2, this would be a good time for me to say that the old cheese video that I posted not too long ago for the fire giant should still work as well. I will link that down below if you're interested. The jump part in that video is a lot easier than this one in my opinion, but the giant can be a bit fidgety in that one. Check it out anyway. I do think this one is a bit more reliable though if you can pull off that jump. So you've gotten him to phase 2, good job. Now you gotta race all the way back to that location near the furthest door. Make sure it is the right one. It does look like this on screen. Now the only hard part of this entire cheese is the fact that you've got to get the jump right twice in a row, because if you mess it up now, you're fully restarting the entire cheese, unfortunately. Now you're just going to repeat the exact same thing, just this time be far more careful of the non-stop fire projectiles, and GG guys and gals, you're done with this monstrosity of a boss fight. If you have any questions about the video or you would like a guide on any other bosses, leave a comment down below. Have a great day everyone, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.